I'm a Scouser.
I'm from a place, if you got beef, you let your banner cry. Ask him where he's from, he's not a Scouser, he said me.
What is up, guys? It is Lucky Punch Sports, and we're back with another UFC card overview and picks prediction. This time it is for UFC 324. Paddy vs. Gaethje is going to be a banger. It's a great card. Sean O'Malley, so let's get it. Arnold Allen and Gene Silva kick off a great main card with a battle between the two questionably autistic fighters. Arnold Allen, although not very active, has only 2 UFC losses to Evlive and Holloway, neither of which were able to finish him. Allen is a very well-rounded fighter but struggles to find finishes and usually resorts to winning on points. Silva is one of my favorite prospects in the UFC and is an explosive striker in the pocket. Silva's momentum slowed when Lopez mauled him, but Silva will still have the striking edge in this matchup. Silva has done very well with grapplers and wrestlers, and his striking advantage is enough to hurt Allen, who's good in striking on his own, and neutralize Allen's wrestling. This is the autism versus autism matchup that both men have been claiming, and Silva's just one of those guys you just don't want to fight against. I mean, look at the video of him crying and barking at the belt.
We're good. Deixa eu pegar essa porra aí, cara.
This guy is a legit psychopath, and he will take it out on Allen. Silva will outland Allen, but will take a decision win. And Natalia Silva is taking on Rose Namajunas, and Silva is one of the most promising flyweights, and Rose has been stagnating in the division. Silva's undefeated and has looked more athletic than most of her opponents, and Rose has slowed down her aggressiveness and won't be able to keep up with Silva's pace. Silva seems much more driven and will outstrike Rose, take her down, and Silva looks great on the feet and also on the ground, and she will manage an easy decision win and possibly even earn a title shot as the heavy favorite. And now a heavyweight matchup between Waldo Cortes Acosta, the Salsa Boy, against Derek Lewis, and Cortes Acosta continues his impressive run with a huge fight against Lewis, who's having a career revival of his own, as the 40-year-old has won his last 2 fights via knockout, including against a talented Taliesin Teixeira. And Lewis is not a very disciplined striker, he's more of a brawler, but he has so much power to blitz through any contact. Lewis has a tendency to give up when the going gets rough, and Cortes Acosta is talented enough to give him problems. Lewis is the type of fighter who always wins when you don't expect it and always loses when you need him to win, and I kind of feel that with this fight. Cortes Acosta won 4 of his 5 fights in 25 and shows good skill on the feet. I expect this fight to end with Lewis gassing out, giving up, and maybe even taking his shorts off, as Cortes Acosta takes a TKO victory in the first 2 rounds. And now the Sugar Show finally returns to the Octagon as the co-main event because of Harrison and Nunez leaving, but this is going to be a great fight. Sean is finally fighting someone not named Merab for the first time since Cheeto in early 2024. And Sugar had a heroic rise to the top, but Merab turned out to be just too good. O'Malley may not be used to being a co-main, but this will not be an easy fight for him. He's a special kickboxer with his 5'11" height at just 135 and insane reach advantage over everyone he fights. But the Kung Fu Kid is the complete opposite. Yadong is an ultra-powerful striker who likes to fight inside the pocket with his short reach and throw powerful hooks to deal damage. Yadong has power but really lacks the feints or head movement to capitalize on his power and his striking. O'Malley utilizes his range to pick fights apart from range. He has supreme knowledge of his distance, and Yadong will have trouble getting into the pocket where he's comfortable. This fight will be won on the feet, and whoever stays at their distance will win the fight. Yadong weirdly struggled against Cejudo in his last fight, and O'Malley's striking IQ will be the difference maker. He may not get the knockout, but O'Malley will dominate the fight for a decisive decision win. And now, the main event. I cannot wait for this fight. For the interim lightweight belt, we have Justin the Highlight Gaethje versus Paddy "Da Baddy" Pimblett, and I would have never guessed that the first card in 26 in the Paramount era would be fought between Paddy and Gaethje for the lightweight belt after Ilya, Arman, and Islam had such good years, but Paddy has improved immensely every fight. But he still has only fought washed versions of King, Bobby Green, Tony Ferguson, and Michael Chandler. Gaethje, on the other hand, has fought straight killers. His last 3 losses were to Khabib, Charles, and Max, and those are not exactly bad losses. Although Paddy's catchline is Scousers don't get knocked out, Paddy's grappling is by far his best attribute. His boxing is improving, but he leaves his chin out and still has very slow and unorthodox, yet still heavy hands on the feet. The Chandler fight is a similar outlook to this, as a powerful, yet relatively low IQ striker with blitzing and wild hooks, and Paddy will need to weather the storm and do some work. Gaethje is an All-American wrestler, but is weirdly allergic to wrestling, so Paddy should get the fight to the ground as fast as he can. Gaethje has so much power and guts in the pocket, and Paddy will need to fight perfectly to get the win, but I think he can do that. Paddy can't afford to get gassed against a striker with power like Gaethje. It's going to be a tough fight. Paddy may survive on the feet and get the fight to the ground to take the interim belt. I think Paddy might even get dropped near the start of the fight, get hit with a wild hook, but he's going to recover, he's a Scouser, and will later finish Gaethje by dropping him when they're both tired. Paddy can take him down, maybe deal some TKO damage like he did to Chandler. And Paddy's secret power is his size at 155, and when this fight becomes a brawl, Paddy can take down Gaethje, land some strikes, and maybe even find a choke to beat Gaethje in the 3rd round. And so to run over my official picks for the UFC 324 main card, we're going to start at the bottom. Arnold Allen versus Gene Silva. I'm taking Silva by decision. Allen's a very good fighter. Silva I just think is a blue chip prospect. I'm a big fan of him, but Allen is a good wrestler, good striker, so just taking Silva by decision. And then another decision by another Silva, this time Natalia versus Rose Namajunas. I think Rose just doesn't have that grit anymore. Silva looks amazing in every fight. She looks like she wants that belt, and I think she's going to get a decision win to fight for the belt next. And then Waldo Cortes Acosta's had a great year. And Derek Lewis, who I'm a huge fan of, this is one of those fights where I think he's going to give up and just get a kind of lazy TKO. I love when Derek Lewis tries against Teixeira. If you guys remember, I predicted that fight the right way. But this one is Cortes Acosta isn't going to roll over. You're going to have to beat him, and I don't think Lewis, I know he says he's in good shape, but I don't think he's going to really have the energy to actually beat him. He's going to give up and give Cortes Acosta the round 1 or 2 win by KO. And then the co-main event, we have Sean O'Malley versus Song Yadong. And Yadong is one of my favorite strikers. He's so powerful, but I think O'Malley's going to keep him at range and take a decision win by piecing him up pretty decisively. And then for Gaethje and Pimblett, the lightweight interim belt, I'm taking Paddy the Baddy to win the belt. Scousers don't get knocked out, but that will be truly tested in this fight. Man, Gaethje has some power, but Paddy is very big. He has good stamina now, and he's a great grappler. He has everything he needs to survive against Gaethje. It really just needs to survive on the feet against him. So it's going to be a very close fight, but I'm taking Paddy the Baddy to win the belt. And this card has some great prelims you are not going to want to miss, like Ateba, Gaethje. You have Figgy fighting Umar. There's a ton of good fights, so Paramount, pretty good card to start the new year. But now let's get into the award show. And for my lock of the night, I don't care that he's minus 1,000. Ateba Gaethje is simply too good to pass up on. You need to remember where you see it. He is a blue chip prospect, middleweight Ngannou, and will definitely earn a first round KO again. And this guy just continues to impress me every single fight.
Although last time I went to the country, I had a bit of bother.
What, from locals?
Nah, a cow. It charged me, so I had to knock it out. One punch.
Nice.
I had to leg it, though, because this mate saw what was going on. And no word of a lie, they stood up on their hind legs, started throwing milk at me from their tits.
Udders?
Well, yeah, there were loads of them.
Scousers don't get knocked out. Or do they? Paddy has been rocked many times, but has continued to fight back against any other person. And Paddy may not be able to knock out a cow, but Gaethje will be the newest test as he likes to throw, and Paddy will need to prove his mantra true. The Punch Bowl just has to be Gaethje versus Pimblett. This is going to be a banger fight. It is straight excitement every fight, and Gaethje is named the highlight for a reason. Whether it's him being flatlined or him knocking someone out cold, we'll see if Paddy can take that interim belt before he gets knocked out, if he can even get knocked out. But Paddy is our guy on the channel, so I cannot wait for this fight. So thank you guys for watching, and I will see you next time, next week for 325.